Greetings of the day to all the learners of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University. Welcome to this session on cost accounting, where we shall be discussing about material costing and control, specifically concentrating on inventory levels and economic order quantity. What happens is, whenever material is received by the company, care has to be taken that material is not spoiled or misused or wasted, so that appropriate control measures are exercised on the material, because it is one of the essential items which go into the process of costing, also an essential item in the process of production. So, therefore, material to minimize wastage, spillage, obsolescence, or to minimize any kind of an additional cost which is incurred because of wastage of material, appropriate control measures have to be exercised. So, here in this session we will talk about how control can be exercised on various material levels, which we call as inventory levels, and how can a company ensure that there is no disruption or the continuation of the production process is maintained and there is no discontinuity which happens in the production, by ensuring that there is economic order quantity which is being maintained. So, in today's session we will concentrate about what is material control, what are the various inventory systems that you have got, what are the various records in the form of stores ledger or bin card, and techniques which are used in material management. Then we will come to the main focus, which is stock level or inventory level, where we have different levels such as minimum level, average level, maximum level, reorder level, danger level, and economic order quantity. You will also have certain practical problems which you will do on all these inventory levels which are there. Let us discuss what is inventory control. Now, inventory level basically talks about how much quantity of good a company can possess at a given point of time. That is, if a company is engaging in production process, for example, if I am a company which is manufacturing soap which is based on any organic material, then or maybe any herbal material which is there, then how much of that herbal material, for example a neem soap, then how much of the neem should I have in quantity with me in order to produce the neem soap. So, here you talk about inventory level, that is quantity of goods a company possesses at a given point of time, which will include raw material, it can also include work in progress, or it can also have finished goods which you have within the company. So, inventory level here does not mean only raw material, it means even work in progress, it also means whatever is already completed, that is finished goods, that also will be a part of your inventory level. Now, inventory level is essential because effective inventory management will ensure to the company that there is no locking up of money, because unnecessarily if you purchase huge amount of raw material and stock it up, then it is going to lock up your fund. Similarly, if huge stock is already being done related to finished goods which are produced and they are not sold in the market, that will also lock up your money. So, to avoid all this, the company will have to ensure that inventory is maintained at an appropriate level, which is nothing but your inventory control measures, which you will apply right from purchase to storing to consumption till the time the raw material is taken to the market. At every level you have to ensure that there is appropriate control which is exercised on the material. This is process of exercising control at all the levels, right from stores till the time the finished product is taken to the market. All these levels, when you are exercising control, it is called as your material control or inventory control. Now, whenever a company is maintaining inventory system, the company can basically have two main types of inventory system. They can have an inventory system which is called perpetual inventory method, where real time transactions related to stock or goods which are received and which are sold or maintained, especially with the use of technology. So, in real time, whatever is coming in the company in terms of your raw material, whatever is going out of the company in terms of your finished goods, all those are recorded in the real time, which is called as your perpetual inventory system. Or you can also have periodic inventory system, where after a certain period of time, maybe 1 week, 15 days, 1 month, you will record how much has inventory gone out or how much inventory came in, then that is called as your periodic inventory system. So, in real time if you are recording, you can have perpetual inventory system, or at different time periods if you are recording, you can have periodic inventory system which you can maintain in the company. Now, whenever you talk about this inventory system, you also have certain documents which you have to maintain. You either maintain the record in the form of a bin card or you maintain a stock control card, or you maintain a stock ledger. Usually most of the companies maintain bin cards, where in a bin card you will record whatever stock of item is maintained in that particular bin or a shelf or a rack in terms of what was received, what is issued, and what is the balance which is remaining. So on that particular card which you see on your screens also, you will have the details which mentions card number, name of the article, if there is any coding which is done to the article, code number. Similarly, you have a folio number that is in your books of accounts, how are you recording. So that number and the number on the card both should tally. So you have that particular number which is called as stores ledger folio number. Then maximum quantity, minimum quantity, then how much did you receive, how much did you issue, what is the balance. All these things are recorded in that particular card which is called as your bin card, and you have a format which is displayed on your screens there. Similarly, you can also have a material ledger card, where in a ledger card you will talk about what is the place or a part or a point at which you are recording the transaction. You describe the quantity, you describe the item, you describe what is the minimum maximum quantity which is there. Then you talk about how much did you receive, how much did you issue, and what is the balance. So it is a simplification like that of a bin card only. You can either have a bin card which you maintain, or you can either have a ledger card which you can maintain. In a bin card, what happens is you are not recording value, but in a stores ledger you are also recording value. In a bin card, most of the time you only concentrate on recording quantity, but in a stores ledger, along with the quantity, you also record rate or the amount which is taken into consideration. So that is the basic difference between the bin card. Other details are reflected in a same manner, that is quantity received, quantity issued, balance, all that is maintained in the same way. Only thing is that difference is in terms of the rate or a price which is being maintained. And bin card is usually maintained by the stores in charge. Whoever is in charge of the stores department, they will maintain the bin card, whereas the stores ledger is maintained in the cost accounting department. Whoever is the accountant who maintains the costing record, that person will take care of maintaining the stores ledger, whereas bin card will be with the stores in charge or the stores manager which is there. It is kept inside the stores department, whereas stores ledger is kept outside the stores department, which is kept in the office, cost accounting office which is there. In a bin card, transactions are updated individually, that is for every item you are updating the transaction, whereas in a costing department, with the proper documentation, whenever documentary evidences are provided, only then you are updating the stores ledger account which is taken into consideration, because you don't do it on a regular basis, but you do it at a certain point of time. At a certain period, maybe 15 days, 1 week, 10 days, you take into consideration and update the records which are in the stores ledger. So those are the basic differences that you have between the bin card and the stores ledger. Now when you say inventory, handling inventory and managing inventory is a very tough task. So you have different techniques of managing that particular inventory. First technique is called as ABC analysis. In ABC analysis, what we do is, we are categorizing the item based on their value and importance, and then we prioritize the items as category A, category B and category C. I will tell you in detail a little further. Then you have something called as a just-in-time inventory. In just-in-time, which is also called as JIT, in JIT what happens is, as the word says, just in time, it means that we are receiving goods as and when we need them. That means we don't put up a stock of the raw material, but we put up a request for purchasing as and when we need the raw material. In this way, we can minimize the storage cost, and we can also minimize any kind of a wastage which can happen. So just in time means as and when required. So if I am not requiring inventory this week, I will not buy and stock it up. But if I require inventory in the next week, then I will buy the inventory only in the next week. So this is called just in time inventory, which is also called JIT. Then you have economic order quantity. Economic order quantity is one where you are determining ideal or optimal order quantity so that inventory cost can be minimum. If a company is producing certain amount of finished product, how much inventory should I be holding? So that is, you are determining ideal amount of inventory or optimal amount of inventory which you can hold up, so that you are not wasting material cost or you are not incurring too much of cost there in maintaining your material. This is economic order quantity. Now coming to ABC technique, as I said, in ABC technique we are categorizing the inventory into 3 categories. We call item A items, B items and C items. A items are those items which are of high priority, high value, on which we have to maintain tight control and also have accurate records of these particular items. Then B items are those items which we can have a little less control over them, but they also have to be recorded in the books of account. C items are those items which are having minimal record and they can have a simple control measures which can be there. So in inventory technique of ABC analysis, what we do is we categorize the items using the alphabets A, B and C. It is also popularly called as always better control, where we are classifying the items based on their value and the priority in which it goes into the process of production. In a company, it may so happen that item A can be only having a space of 10% in the total inventory, but the items are so expensive that they are occupying 70% of your cost. So therefore, value is very high, but the quantity that you have may be little less in the company. Then C items are those items where you can have value which is very low, but the item is bought abundantly. For example, in a university system, if you see, you talk about laptops or computer systems. Then if a student or a teacher is using a laptop or a computer system, you can classify these as A category items, where you will not have too many in number because also cost is very high. On the other hand, if the students and teachers are using papers, pens and all, they are classified as C items, where the value is very low, but they have to be required in huge quantity. So all require paper and pen in order to do teaching and learning. So that way you will have ABC categorization in the company, where you will have technique of maintaining the inventory. Then whenever we are maintaining inventory, you have different types of inventory levels. You can have a minimum level, you can have maximum level, average level, reorder level and danger level. Let us come to each one of these levels one by one. First is minimum level. Minimum level is the lowest acceptable quantity, so that you are avoiding stockouts and you are avoiding any kind of a disruption in the production process. Maximum is the highest amount of inventory that you can have in your business, taking into consideration how much of storage facility do you have, how much is the storage cost that you can incur. So maximum quantity that you can hold in the business. Average is on a particular day or a specified period, how much of inventory is there in the company. Reorder level is one where you are talking about a level at which the firm needs to place order so that the inventory is repurchased as the inventory gets over in the stores department, and if the production department is in need of the material, production department informs the stores department. So when the store department comes to know that the inventory is getting over, then they have to place the order. That level is called as a reorder level, where you have to do replenishment or replace the inventory with the new inventory because the inventory is getting over. Then you have a danger level. It is actually a critical level because immediate action has to be taken at this level so that the inventory or the stock is immediately replenished so that your production process does not stop. And even if you are incurring additional cost, you have to buy the inventory at this level, because if you cross danger level, it means the company is going to stop the production process because stock is no longer with the company which is there. That is called danger level. Let us see each of these levels in detail now. First is the minimum level. As minimum level is the stock level below which the company should not be allowed to fall. So in case any company is falling below this level, it means that they are going to stop their production, they are going to enter the zone of danger level which is there. So it is also termed as a safety level. Minimum level is also called as safety level, or it is also called as a precautionary level of maintaining inventory, because if a company has to function, then at any given point of time, that much of an inventory should definitely be there in the company. Below that, if the inventory falls, if the stock falls below that level, then the process of production is going to be stopped in the company. So that's why minimum level has to be maintained by the company. How do companies compute minimum level of inventory that they have to hold? So minimum level of inventory is nothing but maximum usage into maximum lead time minus average usage into average lead time, or Alternatively, you can also compute minimum level as reorder level minus average usage into average lead time. Lead time is nothing but the time gap between placing the order and receiving the order. So, how many days does it take for the company to get the order from the vendor to the company, and how many days does it take for the production department to get the requisition from the stores to the production department? That is your lead time. So, in minimum level, we will take into consideration what is the reorder level. From that, we will deduct average usage multiplied by the average lead time. If you see maximum level, we are talking about a level which the firm can hold to the maximum, and it should not exceed beyond this level. If the company goes beyond a maximum level, it means that the company is unnecessarily locking up their money in purchase of material. So, maximum level is the maximum quantity that a company can hold at a given point of time. If they exceed this level, then it will go for overstocking. Overstocking is not a good indication for the production process or even for the stores department, because it may not have the capacity to overstock the items which they have bought in advance. So, they have to buy those items which can be only maintained at a maximum level which is there in the company. How do you compute this particular maximum level? Maximum level is equal to reorder level plus reorder quantity minus minimum consumption into minimum reorder period. We will also do certain practical problems on all these levels. Then you talk about average level. Average level is the average quantity of stock for a given period of time which is being held. Average stock is that particular level which is above the minimum level, but it is below the maximum. So, any level of inventory which is between minimum and maximum is called as your average level. The formula for computation of average stock is nothing but minimum stock level plus half of reorder quantity. That way we compute your average stock level. Then you say danger level. Danger level is one where temporarily production process has stopped because stores department is running out of stock or out of material. It is an alarming situation where the company should have to immediately take an action to replenish or to buy the stock from the vendors, because if the company falls to the danger stock level, the production process is going to be stopped and the functioning of the company will be affected. So, how do you compute this particular danger level? Danger level is nothing but average consumption into maximum reorder period for emergency purchases. How much is the period which is taking for emergency purchases? That way we compute your danger level. Then you have got reorder level, which is also called as ordering level. That means the level at which the company should start a new manufacturing or place a new order with the supplier. This level will be the level which is fixed in between minimum and maximum level, where you are identifying how much order should be placed every time with the supplier. So, reorder level or ordering level is nothing but the computation takes place as maximum rate of consumption into maximum reorder period. Then you have economic order quantity. As I said, an ideal quantity which the company can purchase so as to minimize their cost. You have different types of costs such as material cost, handling cost, storage cost, transportation cost, order cost. All this cost has to be maintained at a minimum level. So, when can you maintain at a minimum level? When you have a quantity which is ideal. Actually, the concept of economic order quantity was developed in 1913 by Ford W. Harris, where he refined it over a period of time. Today, if you see, economic order quantity is computed as a function of annual consumption, ordering cost, cost of carrying that particular inventory into the organization. So, you have the formula EOQ is equal to under root 2CO by I, where 2 is a constant variable which is being used in the formula, and C is annual consumption, O is your ordering cost, and I is your carrying cost. So, under root 2CO by I, that will determine your economic order quantity which is there. Let us see some practical problems on all these formulas which we have just seen. First thing, on stock levels. In this problem, you are given following information and you are asked to compute maximum level, minimum level and reorder level. Data which is given to you in the question is minimum consumption. That means every day the company is consuming 240 units. Normal, on any normal day, the company can consume 300 units. maximum that the company can consume is 420 units. So, you are given minimum, maximum and normal. Then reorder, at what level does the company place order with the supplier? Reorder quantity is 3600 units. Reorder period, the period within which the order has to be placed, is between 10 to 15 days. And normal reorder period, every time when does the company place order? Within 12 days. This information you have, which is given to you. Now, with the help of this information, you have to compute maximum level, minimum level and reorder level. Let us see how we compute maximum level, minimum level and reorder level with the help of this. If you say reorder level formula goes as maximum consumption into maximum reorder period. So, maximum consumption was 130 units, maximum reorder period 30 days. So, 130 into 30, you will get 3900. Minimum level will be, the formula is reorder level minus normal consumption into normal reorder period. Now, normal reorder period is not given, so that way we can compute taking an average. So, 25 plus 30 days divided by 2, that gives you 27 and a half days. 27 and a half is your normal reorder period. So, here we can compute minimum level. We calculated reorder level in the first bit. So, from that first bit we will take reorder level 3900 units. Normal consumption was 100 units, normal reorder period was 27 and a half days. So, that way we will compute your minimum level. Then maximum level is reorder level plus reorder quantity multiplied by minimum consumption into minimum reorder period. So, you have reorder level was 3900 units, reorder quantity 5000 units, and then you deduct from that minimum consumption multiplied by minimum reorder period. So, minimum consumption was 60 units, minimum reorder period was 25 days. So, 3900 plus 5000 minus 60 into 25, that gives you your maximum level which is there. Let us see one more problem. In this problem, you have got two components. There are two parts which are using in the production process, A and B. These two components have an average consumption of 40 units. They have a normal usage of 50 units per week, minimum usage of 25 units, maximum usage is 75 units, and if you are reordering A, you will reorder 300 units. If you are reordering B, you will reorder 500 units. For A, the reorder period is 4 to 6 weeks, and for B, the reorder period is 2 to 4 weeks. And in case of emergency purchases, A has 1 week time and B has 2 weeks time. With this given data, you will have to compute all levels, that is reorder, all means 5 levels will be there. Minimum, maximum, average, reorder and danger. All these 5 levels with this given data you have to compute. Let us see how we are computing. Reorder level. Reorder level is nothing but maximum usage into maximum reorder period. So, for component A, maximum usage was 75 units and maximum order period was 6 weeks. So, 75 into 6, that gives 450 weeks. And for B, maximum usage was 75 units, but the number of weeks was 4 weeks. So, 75 into 4, that gives you 300 units. Coming to calculation of minimum level. Minimum level formula is reorder level minus normal consumption into normal reorder period. Normal reorder period is not given to you in the data, in the question. So, here normal reorder period is computed as maximum plus minimum divided by 2. So, for A, maximum was 6, minimum was 4. So, 6 plus 4 by 2 gives 5 weeks for A. For B, maximum and minimum were 2 and 4. So, 2 plus 4 divided by 2 gives you 3 weeks. So, A and B normal period is 5 weeks and 3 weeks. With this data, we can calculate minimum level. Now, minimum level for A will be, we already computed reordering level as 450 units. So, 450 units minus 50 into 5, 50 is your normal consumption, 5 weeks was the normal reorder period. For B, the minimum level will be, reorder level is 300 units, then normal consumption was 50 units, normal reorder period was 3. So, 50 into 3, that gives you 150 units. Coming to computation of maximum stock level, maximum stock level formula goes as reorder level plus reorder quantity minus minimum consumption into minimum reorder period. Here you have material A, we already computed reorder level which was 450 units, reorder quantity was 300 units. So, 450 plus 300 minus within the brackets we have minimum consumption into minimum reorder period. Minimum consumption for A was 25 units and weeks minimum was 4. So, 25 into 4. Similarly, we will do computation for B also. Then coming to average stock is nothing but minimum level plus half of reorder quantity. So, for A, minimum level was 200 units and reorder quantity was 300. So, 200 plus half of 300. For B, minimum level is 150 units and reorder quantity is 500. So, 150 plus half of 500. That way it gives us the average stock level. As I said, danger level, the company should be careful that it does not enter into danger level where you have the maximum lead time for emergency purchases into average consumption. So, lead time for A was 1 week and average consumption was 40 units. So, 1 into 40 units you get for A. For B, maximum lead time was emergency purchases was 2 weeks. So, 2 weeks into average consumption is 40 units. So, 2 into 40 gives 80 units as danger level for A. So, all these 5 levels you have to do when you are talking about inventory control, that is minimum level, maximum level, average stock level, danger level and your reorder level which is taken into consideration. This is one part where we are talking about inventory control levels. The second part is related to economic order quantity. As I said, it is the ideal quantity which has to be maintained by the company without having to incur too much material cost. So, when you say economic order quantity, we have the formula EOQ is equal to under root 2CO by I, where C stands for annual consumption, O is your ordering cost and I is your carrying cost. Let us take an example here. Annual requirement for a company is 3600 kgs. Placing the order, the cost of order placing and receiving is 10 rupees and the carrying cost is nothing but the cost of keeping that particular raw material in the company. It includes insurance, storage, any other maintenance, handling, all those costs where the company will have to maintain the inventory within their premises. So, that is called as carrying cost, that is 20 rupees. So, if we apply the formula, EOQ is equal to under root 2CO by I. C is annual consumption. So, 2 into annual consumption. Annual consumption in this problem is 3600. So, 2 into 3600, then you have ordering cost which is your O. So, ordering cost is 10 rupees. So, 2 into 3600 into 10, that is 2CO, that is your numerator, divided by I. I is your ordering cost, that is your I is the carrying cost of maintaining the inventory within the company. So, I is the carrying cost. So, carrying cost here in this problem is 20 rupees. So, that becomes your denominator. So, 2 into 3600 into 10 divided by 20 under root, all this is under root. So, then you will get your EOQ which is your 60 kg. So, that way you have the sample problems on economic order quantity. One more problem, if you see, you are talking about economic order quantity, consumption is between 250 to 750 units, ordering cost is 100 rupees, carrying cost is 6.5%, purchase price is 20 rupees, normal consumption is 400 units per week. So, we are computing EOQ. EOQ is nothing but under root 2CO by I. As I said, C is annual consumption. Here if you see annually how many units did they say? They didn't say anything. They said 400 units per week. In a year we have 52 weeks. So, 400 into 52. That way we will get 2,08,000 units. Ordering cost was 100 rupees given to you, but carrying cost is given as a percentage. So, how do we compute that? We compute that percentage on your purchase price. Purchase price is 20 rupees. So, on 20 rupees we will take 6.5%. So, 6.5% of 20 rupees which we get as rupee 1. So, that way we just substitute in the formula EOQ is equal to 2 into 2,08,000 units into 100 rupees divided by 1.3. That way we will get 1789 units as your EOQ there. If you see like that, many problems you have which are related to your inventory levels, where we have to, as a learner, you have to learn all the formulas which are related to the inventory level. All the 5 levels which you have, minimum level, maximum level, average stock level, reorder quantity and danger level. For all these 5 levels, you have different formulas which are there. You will have to learn those formulas. Similarly, for computing your EOQ, which is your economic order quantity, you have the formula under root 2CO by I. That formula you have to learn and then compute how you are computing your annual consumption, ordering cost and carrying cost. These are the three main components which are there in the entire process of computing your economic order quantity. So, in this session we have concentrated on how inventory control measures are applied, what are inventory control techniques such as ABC, just in time, EOQ, and then how do you maintain inventory at different levels, which is maximum, minimum, average, danger or reorder level, and how can a company ensure that at any given point of time there is an ideal quantity that the company has got. It is through economic order quantity under root 2CO by I, which will determine annual consumption, ordering cost and carrying cost. All this put together is nothing but your inventory control measures which you have got. So, as such, when you have elements of costing, in material costing you have to remember two things. One is how is material priced, where we are following LIFO, FIFO, weighted average method. Then how is control exercised on the inventory, where we have inventory levels, the 5 levels which are there, and computation of the economic order quantity. So, as a learner in material costing, if you learn LIFO, FIFO, weighted average method, this will come as a practical problem, and if you concentrate on inventory levels, which is maximum level, minimum level, average, danger, reorder level and EOQ, this will become a second part of your practical problems which can be solved as a part of your material costing techniques which are there. Thank you.